There's a kind of strength that most men are praised for: being calm, being collected, being the one who never complains. And then there's a kind of strength that most men were never taught: the kind that says, I feel this, but I'm not going to run from it. The kind that stays present even when it's uncomfortable. The kind that doesn't look impressive but builds the kind of love that actually lasts. Let's get something clear. Most men don't shut down because they don't care. They shut down because they were trained to believe that feeling too much makes them unstable, and saying too much makes them weak. But what that really creates, psychologically speaking, is a nervous system that confuses emotional intimacy with danger. Your body thinks you are keeping the peace. Your partner feels like you've left the room emotionally. You're still physically there. You still show up. But love without emotional presence is like a room with no oxygen. It looks fine until no one can breathe. When you're under emotional stress, whether it's conflict, disappointment, or even a vulnerable moment, your brain shifts into survival mode. For some men, that means anger. For others, it means withdrawal. In neuroscience, this is called downregulation of affect. It's your brain turning down the volume on feelings it doesn't know how to safely process. You stop talking, you stop feeling, and sometimes you stop being reachable. But here's the problem: your silence doesn't just protect you, it isolates the people trying to love you. You can't love someone with your arms folded across your chest. And yet, many men have only ever been taught how to be pillars, not partners. You show up, you provide, you solve problems, but when it comes to emotional connection, you retreat. Not because you don't want to connect, but because no one ever told you that real strength isn't holding everything in. It's knowing what to let out and when. She doesn't need you to cry on cue. She doesn't need you to explain every emotion. She just wants to know that you are in it with her. That when things get hard, you don't disappear behind silence. That when she opens her heart, you don't meet her with a blank stare. Emotional presence doesn't mean emotional chaos. It means you stay reachable, you stay honest, you stay with her, even in the discomfort. It starts with one thing: stop thinking of emotions as the enemy. Emotion is just information. Anger tells you something feels off. Sadness tells you something needs to be acknowledged. Numbness tells you you've been carrying too much for too long. The goal isn't to fix every feeling. The goal is to stop running from them. When you feel yourself starting to shut down, please pause, breathe, and ask yourself, what am I afraid might happen if I stay open right now? It's not the big speeches that create connection. It's the small, quiet choices. Saying I hear you instead of walking away. Saying this is hard for me, but I'm trying. You don't have to be perfectly emotionally fluent. You just have to stop disappearing. You were never too emotional. You were never not emotional enough. You were just trained to believe that being calm meant being disconnected. But now you know better. And knowing better is what lets you love better. So, if you're tired of being misunderstood, If you're tired of being the one who stays silent while your relationship fades in front of you, then stop performing strength and start practicing presence. Because the strongest version of you isn't the one who hides his feeling. It's the one who knows how to carry them and still stay close. I hope this helped you. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.